There's a lot of great instructional videos on YouTube, but up until now I've never found one on how to remove a stuck sunshade from your rifle scope. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to remove my stuck sunshade from this rifle scope. So first things first, I've got a stuck sunshade. It clearly looks at this point in time, it's not just seized in, it's the rifle scope has taken a whack, a good old whack that has knocked the scope off of its threads, or the sunshade off its threads. You may be able to see a slight deformed shape here where it's taken the force. And because it's knocked off its threads here, and it's super tight here, it means that I'm unable to spin it. I've tried squeezing it to reform it slightly and hopefully pop it back on its threads, because I've tried whacking it this way with as hard as I dare, but to no avail. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to sacrifice the sunshade and purchase a new one. So what I'm going to do then to get the sunshade off is, I'm effectively going to squeeze it off. I want to give you a very quick demonstration though. We'll take this inexpensive toilet tube, and you can see if I just squeeze it with a clamp, all that's going to happen is it's going to push the sides outwards. Okay, so that'll happen, and we could damage the ocular bell. So what we need to do is weaken the top of the sunshade. I say the top, you could do the side, you could do the bottom, wherever you want. It needs to have a weak point so that when we crush it with the clamp, it's got somewhere to go. Obviously take as many precautions as you like here. You might want to get a little rag and stuff it into there to protect the lens. Hopefully we're going to go nowhere near the lens, but you never know. Again, something just to protect the scope. Just makes you feel better really, because I'm sure, again, we're not going to go too close to it. And then something to protect your hands. There's a couple of ways you could make this weak point. You could drill some holes in the top here. You could get yourself a Dremel and Dremel a little slot in, a little groove. I'm going with that Dremel kind of idea, except I don't have a Dremel. I've got this air grinder cutting disc thing here, so that's what I'm going to use. So here we go. Alright, since this is my first time ever doing this, take off my gloves. Since this is my first time ever doing this, I wasn't 100% sure how far I was going to go with the cut itself. I wasn't sure whether I was going to score it or whether I was going to go all the way through. I've gone all the way through, so it is what it is. I've taken it as close as I dare to the edge. I mean, I might have been able to get it a little bit closer, but like I say, it's as close as I dare. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a clamp to now squeeze it. What I thought I might do also, rather than just use the clamp with its flat surfaces, I would use the nut and bolt here, and hopefully what I'm going to do is line up one of these sharper points on both of them inside this groove to kind of push it downward and hopefully cave it in on itself. So why don't we give that a go? Trying to do this is tricky enough, let alone keep it all on camera. Alright, okay, so I've got a grip of it, so let's see if I can get it on camera as I start to crush. It's starting to go in, but the bolt's just kind of flattened itself out. I wouldn't say that this clamp's got the most strength about it. Maybe a G clamp that you twist would probably be better, but I haven't got one to hand at the moment. So we'll persevere with this. Could possibly get another one to help it. Let's go like that. And then he'll clamp down. And if I can still get into him. Yeah, I think he's moving. Again, I'm going to try and keep this in the camera shot as much as I can. Oh, I hear some cracking. I might even speed this up when editing the video, we'll see. There's definitely deformation going on there. Maybe not quite enough as yet. We'll looking around the garage anxiously to see if I've got a stronger clamp, but I don't. Possible that I might take that cut a little bit further. That might help me out. It just springs back into position once you've crushed it. Okay, I think I'm going to take the cut a little bit closer to the edge. Put the old safety equipment back on. That's fairly close. As you can see, I've just given up with the bolt idea. It's definitely crushing, I'll give it that. Just gotta wait for this last little bit here to kind of give up the ghost. I just don't think these clamps are strong enough. I may have to come back with a stronger clamp. I could try cutting a slot in the bottom as well, and that may help. Why don't we give that a go? Why not, while we're cutting holes and stuff? Prepare your ears for the compressor coming back on. Okay, so while doing that, I got a bit of movement. However, there we go. Now that's come off that, but it's not exactly what I was expecting. So that's off, not a problem. Just give him a little wipe down. Obviously we've got some lens cleaner that we can use at another point in time. There we go, just give him a bit of a clean. So then, what I was expecting, because I bought a new sunshade in preparation for this, and I have another Night Force scope, I was expecting these threads to be joined to this here. So unless they've changed the design of the scope, these threads are on the inside, and this is like a female thread and this is like a male thread. So what that means is, because I was expecting this to be part of this, I've actually cut into it a little bit here, as you can see, just a little nick. Unless of course that is more like that actually is supposed to live on him. It could be. Yeah, it is. All right, okay. So what we've actually done here, this is part of the sunshade, but he's still in here. So what we need to actually do, and I don't think I've got the tools to do it here, is we need to almost crush this out, because this bit is still rock solid. So I'm going to need to weaken this and then pinch it and crush it, just the same as we've done with this, except on a much smaller scale with a whole lot less leverage. So I'm away to go and buy some tools, I reckon. All right, I'll catch back up with you in a little bit. All right, here we go for round two. So I went and got myself a G-clamp and I modified it slightly. As you can see, I cut off this point that was pivoting and spinning around the joint, because it was never going to get a good hold on the tiny little purchase that we've got to get a hold of. So my idea is, hopefully, much like the hand clamps, is to use this much stronger mechanism to hopefully crush that ring out of there. Again, I'm going to try and do it all on camera so you can see, but please forgive me if it moves out of view, because it's quite difficult to keep everything in line. All right, so here goes, eh? No, sometimes I wish I had more than one set of hands. Try my very best here not to mark the actual scope itself and keep up the whole clamp on this little ring, because obviously you can see the clamp there's marring up that quite nicely, and I really don't want that to happen on the scope. Let's try a different technique here. Hopefully you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. got a better hold, but it did just slip off. And try and hold that in place as best we can. The problem you get when you think you've got a decent hold is the clamp's actually holding onto more of the scope than you want it to. We really don't want it to do that. Alright, okay, fingers crossed this has got a nice hold. I can feel it slipping. Nope, just starting to let go. So it is making more of a difference. It's starting to peel it away. It could just be one of those things where we go really slowly, moving a little bit at a time until it eventually gives up. And I'll carry on recording while I do this, and if it takes too long I will just speed it up in the editing process. This could be us. Spoke too soon. So we are definitely getting there, because now the end of the ring is in sight. We are slowly pulling it through. Now if I get this out more and it doesn't want to bend out, I'll get the cutting disc out again and I'll cut that. As long as it's free of this part of the scope, I'll be happy to start cutting again. It's so close now, I can almost taste victory. couple more of those and we should be home free. Okay, so what I find myself doing here, rather than just twisting because it's got a really good grip, but what I notice is that the edge of this is very close to that, and if I keep on twisting, obviously I'm going to damage the scope. So again, I've got to back off and try and reposition and get just that perfect position. What we might do is get the old cutting disc out again, and that'll see this done, I think. 4 more attempts. Repositioning. That's him, come on. And there he goes. He is out. So, fingers crossed, we can give him a little blow off. I should have something to blow it, like an air gun. That might be helpful. Okay, so that is done. Yes, okay, I may have caught the scope up here just a little bit, but it's not going to affect how it works. And I'm going to guess that the ultimate test right now is seeing if the new shade fits right back in. Careful not to cross thread it, I don't want to have to do this again. He says easy. And that is as good as new. How fantastic. And it comes off again, which is exactly what the other one didn't do. So, I'm super glad that I've managed to make that work. I think it's my first rifle related video in a long time. I hope to get more shooting stuff done very soon, so stay tuned and subscribe. I'll throw out helpful tips where I can, and we'll see if we can actually get some shooting done this year. Thanks a lot. Bye.